Hey there, everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday. We're just rocking and rolling here at our house at the Koch household in Dallas. So today was day number 2 of school, and it was the first full day of school that the kids went to. So they were gone from 8 a.m. and I just picked them up at 3:30. And it was very, very quiet here in the house. And honestly, I went into this day thinking, you know what? I'm going to get so much shit done today. Like, kids are gone. I got all this, no distractions, anything like that. Just get it, just knock it out, knock it out, knock it out. That's not what happened at all. I actually was kind of bored. I had a few conference calls, which were good, which those are good because I don't have to actively be working. It's more just like thinking and being in the moment. But I did not get hardly anything on my to-do list done today. And here's the problem. I have nobody to blame for it but myself. I mean, before I was like, I just didn't get to it. The kids were bugging me, or I didn't get to it because I had to do this, or I had to make lunch, or I had to. There was a bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And yes, there's ice cube floating in my glass of wine. I put the bottle in too late and it didn't get cool enough. But cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody. So I didn't get all my stuff done today. And you know, the day's now over pretty much. So just chalk it up and write it up for tomorrow. Where did I put my to-do list? Well, see, even that I can't find now. Damn it to hell. Yeah, anyway. Oh, here's a couple of them things. That's my started to-do list. So, and Bentley thinks working from home is much harder than in the office, in his humble opinion. Yeah, I'm of two minds on that. So my office is also literally only a stoplight and a stop sign away from the house. So it's not like it's a great commute or anything. And at this point, I don't have a lot of meetings. I actually abhor meetings. And so it's just a list of things I tick off. And at my company also, I don't do the day-to-day business of the company that much anymore. My job is more just overall management of the business. I run a PR business at this point rather than actually doing PR. Run the business, do new business type stuff, manage marketing of the agency itself. And right now, there's not a lot of that going on. I mean, our clients are all in good places, but there's just not a lot of new business meetings and stuff to be happening. So I'm kind of just moving things around in the business and just doing other things that I need to do and just taking this opportunity to do other things anyway. And Arden, who works for me, is at the office right now. She's the only one. The office is not officially opened, but she asked if she could go in, and since she's the only one, I'm like, fine. Just make sure you turn the air conditioner back up at the end when you leave so I don't pay the electricity bill all night, but works for me. So anyway, but yeah, I got no one to blame for not getting stuff done today. Maybe I'm just going to have to, maybe sort of like how I had to acclimate to everyone being around and being lunch lady and all that stuff. I got to reverse acclimate to not having all the noise and all of the things going on. I don't know. It's weird. And then I've had like 3 different friends approach me and say, hey, now that the kids are in school, we should get together. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We are still not doing that. We are, aside from the kids going to their tiny little school and their quarantine classrooms and all that stuff, we are still locked down here. We are, don't should myself. I agree, Sandy. I'm doing it. I'm shooting myself to death right there, right? No, we're still online. I'm not going to a restaurant. I'm not meeting you for lunch right now. Like, no, we're not doing that. Give it another month or so when we know how the school thing plays out. We will see. But now that they're in school, let's hang out. I'm like, no, that doesn't mean I have more time. Or I do have more time. I just don't have more interest. Let's put it that way. I mean, I want to see people, but I don't want to get sick either. So we're going to avoid that. And the backlog of cases in Dallas County, at least, that's all the numbers that I report on in my news report, my news-ish report. But so they think that it's going to be 237 today, which is a lot lower than it was a while back. And yesterday it was only in the 150, 130 range also. But here's the thing. They're reporting 550. That's what I wrote down. Can't read my writing. 550 backlog things. like this is already like like almost approaching 10,000, I think, at this point, or at least 6 or 7,000 at this point. Again, news-ish of the backlogs. Like, what's happening? What's happening? At least, so do we know though that? So we think the numbers today are 237, and yesterday it was 230 or 130 something. Do we know that there's not a backlog of those numbers also that we're going to hear about in September? Like, do we, or are those accurate numbers and the backlog is literally just something that we needed to tackle? I don't know the answer to that, but that's my wonder. Because now I'm like not trusting the numbers, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I've told that a million. I think most people do the right thing. I think most people are doing the best job they think they can do, and everyone is trying to act right. And just sometimes the results don't come from that. But I part of me starts to wonder: are the numbers? I don't know. I don't think they're maliciously being skewed, but are we going to see things that are maybe leading us in the wrong direction? I don't know. So, and poor Michelle Condrey can't drink wine yet. She's got to teach a class in an hour. Boo hiss. Well, it's called creative juice, girl. Get your creative juices flowing. Just a sip. You know you want just a sip. I'm drinking Sauvignon Blanc today from Lost Oak Winery. I'm on their board, and one of my areas of compensation from them is I get a case of wine for every meeting, and they delivered a case yesterday. So I'm in it. They're in Burleson, Texas, home of Kelly Clarkson. Not anywhere you would think there would be a winery, but yet there it is. It's a cute place too. I really enjoy going out there. Speaking of wine, Wall Street Journal reported that there's a new study out that says men should limit their alcohol consumption to 1 drink a day. I'm like, one big ass drink. Yeah, that's it. And so supposedly women already were at 1 drink and men were at 2. Now they're lowering it to 2 for men. And their thinking is that once you get beyond 1 drink, the occurrences of cancer, heart disease, blah, 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 all these things go up. You know what, though? If I didn't have at least 2 drinks a night, the chances of murder would go up in my house pretty significantly, I think. So I'm going to consider that a fair trade. How about that? And what size drink? Can I just get one of those big Carls, those big vases that you just pour a whole bottle in and say, I only had one. I already fake it on Weight Watchers as it is. I don't measure it like I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to measure it 6 ounces, 5 ounces. And I'm like, that looks like about 5 ounces. I actually have no idea what an ounce even looks like. So, and Erin's about to interview a nanny via Zoom and enjoying a Truly before she'll figure out that I have a drink Monday through Friday at 4:15, cooped up. Love it. Speaking of interviewing via Zoom, so there was something else I wrote. And actually, this is on my list. Something else I read. People are now doing Zoom dating. So basically what happens is that you meet either on the apps like like Match, or I don't know, what do they do? Todd and I are pre any of this, so I actually don't even know how to do it. I've heard of the hookup apps, Grindr and such, but I've never been on them. But I don't think Grindr is where you go to, or Tinder. Is Tinder even where you go? I think that's where you just go for some. I don't think that's where you go for a date to make a lasting impression. So wherever these places are, Match, all these things. So people are then meeting there, and then they're dating on Zoom. So they're having dinner together over Zoom. They're hanging out. They're having a happy hour. They're just talking like a conference call, like I did with my client today on Zoom. So what's interesting to me about that is, so I appreciate the if you're again, I've not been single in almost 22 years. Oh, I've not been single. So just take all of this with a grain of salt. But like, if you're single, is it so important to date during this pandemic, and to what end? Like, are you still trying to find a spouse? Because I know when I was dating before Todd, I really wasn't looking for a relationship. I was just trying not to seem like I was a slut. I mean, we're just going to go there. I always joke that I have 3 vices. I drink too much, I cuss too much, and I'm a sure thing on a first date. I've always said that are my 3 vices. And so I went on a date basically just so that I wouldn't have to call it a hookup, right? So if you're dating on Zoom, like I mean, is this how people do it? Like they just kind of chitty chat, right, with each other on Zoom. And then at some point when we're allowed to be around other people, or you both self-quarantine for 2 weeks and you think it's okay to meet up, then you meet up. And I promise you, that's when the hookup happens. I mean, from personal experience. Again, my early 20s, I would not say that I was a model of sexual prudence. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, my mother is watching, by the way. So let's just all keep that in mind. I don't hide much from her though. So, and Bentley is saying a super big gulp of wine. Is that your one? Is that your one drink a day? Yeah. And Crystal is saying in St. Louis, the numbers has picked up on our number. So St. Louis has picked up on our numbers. Dr. Burke was talking to the governor yesterday or today. God, I can't read today. You know it's shit when she tells you things are bad. Yeah, I know. You had the scarf lady come into town, and that wasn't me. So let's see. I'm jumping all over the place, so I need to keep my list going here. Did y'all watch the Democratic convention? I'm not going to get into politics on this, but it was interesting how this is the first one, obviously, that has been done virtually ever. I believe ever. Again, news-ish. And so they're the first to go, and it was on, and it's beautifully produced. I mean, they are doing a great job at like hosting and the graphics and all that stuff. It's really, really beautifully done. I would not call it exciting though, and I was only kind of in and out on it. And I watched Michelle Obama's speech this morning. I actually was already in bed last night when she came on. So. Because I don't stay. That's the other thing. It comes on so fucking late. And I know they got to do it so that everyone on all the coasts can see it. But Daddy's a 9:30 to 10 o'clock boy. I mean, that's when I go to sleep. So I don't know. So I was already in mode going to bed. So I was like, I'll watch her in the morning. So anyway, but then the media is reporting this morning that viewership is down 50% over 4 years ago. Well, no fucking shit. It's down 4 years or 50% over 4 years ago. 50% or 4 years ago. God, I can't get my numbers right. I'll get this joke out. I promise. 4 years ago, it was live and in person. That's way more exciting. You can see a fucking balloon drop, some confetti, people in silly hats. Yay. Also, I have so many friends that go that I'm always on the lookout for them on TV. I'm like, oh, I saw you. You don't get any of that with this one. You just get the speeches, and even the speeches are, it's hard for them when even if they were live, like Michelle's was taped, but even if they're live in front of nobody. So it's kind of like those episodes of America's Got Talent, and they're only in front of the 3 judges, and you don't have the audience like going and going and going. There's just something to it. So of course the numbers are down, but they're doing the best is what they can do. And I think next week that the Republicans have theirs? So we'll see how that goes. By the way, did you notice that this nail, like the nail polish is just completely faded off? It's not even chipped. It is just straight up faded off of the tip of that nail. It's like ombre effect. I need to repaint that one. But anyway, so I was like, okay. But one of the interesting things I found about it last night was how many prominent Republicans were on it talking out. And even some that ran for president also. I was like, okay, they're pulling out all the guns. And okay. And again, I'm not getting into it. Y'all know where I stand. Y'all know who I'm voting for. It's Joe. But I even ordered the t-shirt, which, by the way, I ordered a Joe and Kamala t-shirt. It has not come yet, but every fucking text and email and piece of mail that I can now get, because I'm on the list, I'm getting them, asking for money. I'm unsubscribing left and right on those types of things, because we do some political stuff, but not enough that I'm like going to respond to the last minute appeal for anything. So I already told Eric, who is usually watching, I was like, oh, here he is. He's watching. I was like, I already told Eric, I was like, next time I need any of this political swag, I'm going to have you order it for me so that because you already get all the stuff. Eric has got presidents in his house, ambassadors, all these congressmen, city council. I mean, everybody coming through his house. It is a must stop on the Democratic political circuit in Dallas. And so I'm like, I know you already get all the shit. So if I can leave myself off that list, I will. I am fine with that. So, and Eric did say 1 drink a day. Lies, lies, damn lies. I agree. So let me see. Oh, and Raven is talking about the Zoom chicka bow wow. Like, is that what they're doing? I didn't even go there in my mind. Because even when I was dating, we didn't even have like video stuff. Like Todd and I didn't have a fucking cell phone. Todd and I are our relationship is older than me having a cell phone. I got my first cell phone with Todd, and I still have that same number. And I'm still with the same carrier, AT&T. It was Southwestern Bell, and then Singular, and then AT&T, but still. Anyway, and Eric is saying, objectively, I'd say I was pretty much a sure thing on the first date in my single days as well. This is a judgment-free zone. Yeah, I wear it like a badge of honor. I'm just like, you know what? But I will say, I did not go on a date with just anybody. If you got to go on a date with Cooper Smith back then, I shouldn't say Cooper Koch. That's wholly inappropriate considering that's my married name. If you went on a date with Cooper Mason Smith back in the day, that meant you were already in. Like the Golden Gate Bridge was open for business. We were waving you into traffic, whatever. I don't know where these metaphors aren't going anywhere, but you know what I mean. So it was already like I'd already vetted you, knew that you were worth it. What does Elaine say? Spongeworthy? Like you were vetted. That it wasn't just anybody. I didn't sleep with just anybody. So anyway, and my mom's saying it's 2020. I assume that you mean, I don't know if you mean just the craziness or the way people are dating or whatever. And Michelle Condré is getting inundated too. All of the oh my God, and the Wendy Davis texts, and they all come from a different person. So you can't text stop, which normally would stop the automated system. They're all from a different, I mean, every day it's from a different phone number. And so I can't just tell it, I don't know how to get off that list. If you have any advice, let me know. Because I mean, I want her to win. I just don't want to be texted about it every day. Ooh. That's all I gotta say about that. Let's see, what else do I have here? So I bounced all over the place on here. Do y'all, any of y'all, this is where I need some hive mind. I need your advice. Do any of y'all use some CBD shit? So I never thought about it, never really bought into it. And Carrie's been in my ear about it a little bit. And then some other friends about it. But I'm having some joint issues. Like this finger doesn't bend anymore all the way. And this one's starting to get to that territory. And my knuckles are getting big. And I think this has a lot to do with it because that's on the rise with COVID also. But anyway, so I have been thinking about taking a lot of people have, actually numerous people who I've talked to about this have recommended CBD with, is it curcumin? I think CURCUM, something like that. Curcumin. And supposedly it is like really good for inflammation, which I suffer inflammation. That's one of my big things. So it's really good for inflammation. And it is, and added the CBD stuff to it makes it better. And then there's one other thing on that CBD, how much? Remind me if I get off track, because I tend to jump topics and then forget to come back to us again. How much can you take also? But back to the curcumin one. So they're like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone, and raving, and I've read the reviews, and people are like, it's life-changing. I'm now able to run again. I don't have any arthritis pain anymore, all that stuff. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if y'all know anything about this, but I'm kind of sold on it. It's expensive as shit. I've looked at like 3 different brands, and they're all like 30 tablets for between $90 and $100. And some of them, like if you sign up to have an affiliate link or something, and you get it for like 10% off. I don't know about all that. But anyway, so even if it's like $75 for 30 pills, that sounds like, and I don't even know, is it a 1 a day or is it a 2 a day? I don't know. But then you start reading about it, or people who are friends talk about it. Oh, and then you have to get the little stopper of the 750 milligram or whatever the measure is. And you do that twice a day. And then there's got the gummies, and you do that. And that next thing you know, I added it up, and not even the expense of it, which it was a lot, but the sheer milligrams, like how much CBD can you take in a day before you start having issues, right? And I don't know, are there issues with that? Because I was like, if you take the 750 and you do a full stopper in the morning under your tongue and a full stopper in the evening, that's already like 1,500, I assume. I don't know the dosage. And then you do the pills, which are a certain amount, and then that curcumin stuff. And then you do the gummies. And I mean, how many gummies a day can you have? I mean, at some point, are we hitting like 1,000 milligrams a day? And I don't know if that math adds up. But so if any of y'all are real big like proponents of the CBD stuff, especially if it will help me get inflammation and joint pain under control. It's mainly my fingers all hurt lately. My mother has this too. It's just part of our curse of being tall, beautiful, and blonde. We also got these gnarly hands that we end up with. But I'll be interested to know. And if you have a particular brand that you recommend, I would love to know about that as well. Because a lot of them, I look at it and they look like they have flashy websites and stuff, but then you start reading the descriptions and I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, this doesn't seem real professional to me, or it doesn't seem like fully fleshed out, or it seems like they're just all ordering from the same place and they're sending it like it's a multi-level marketing thing. Well, I think they all are that, but there's like almost like a multi-level marketing thing. And then they just get their own label. Like, I don't know how all that works. So let me know if you know anything about that. Aaron is saying he drove all the way to Dallas and ended up marrying a Canadian. Yay. That's true. All the way. I test drove all of, you test drove all of, I misread that. I test drove all of Dallas and ended up marrying a Canadian. So Todd jokes with me about this. And I think I've talked about this before. Todd and I have this like rule, unwritten. Well, it's not unwritten. We openly talk about it. If it is a gay man within my age range with a semblance of attractiveness, and I have known him longer than you, Todd, there's a chance that I won't be graphic, but there's a chance that relations have happened of some variety, right? So Todd used to always be like, he would say, oh, how do you know him? I was like, oh, I hooked up with him. Or how do you know him? Oh, I dated him. Or how do you know him? Don't ask. And he'd be like, God, you're a whore. God, you're a whore. I'm like, bitch, I left high school, came here, went to college here, came out here, and I still live within 5 miles of where I started. So unfortunately, I got to sit in my stink. You got to have all your wild oats over in North Carolina at the University of Chapel Hill and move to Dallas and leave all of that behind. I got to sit in my stink. So, and I'm not ashamed of it, but anyway, that's kind of our jokey joke thing. And then I already asked that about how much to take. And Michelle's saying, have you been to the CBD store up on Jefferson that Chad West recommends? I have not. I am hesitant to go in person, though. I'd rather my friends tell me, because I am a sucker for an upsell. Like, I go into Kiehl's and I just need some lotion. I walk out with toner and sunscreen and a vitamin C lotion and a scalp massage lotion and all. And I went in for $25 worth of shit and I come out with $250 worth of stuff. So I am, if they're like, oh, you should try this, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. So I don't want to go in person if I can help, at least not at first. I don't want, y'all, I trust y'all. Y'all be my guides. And Bentley, who went to college with Todd, says UNC Chapel Hill Conquest are not the ones to remember. I have been there. It was, I have to say, Dallas guys are prettier, a much more attractive set of homosexuals here in Dallas than in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. So, and my mom is recommending Tommy Chong's CBD products. I've not heard that one. Is that like Cheech and Chong? Because that would be appropriate, wouldn't it? So, and Arden is remembering our last trip to Kiehl's. She did not even go in for anything. I went in for like some face lotion, and she ended up spending like $400 because they're always like, oh, if you spend $5 more, you get a little basket. If you spend $15 more, you get like a new Mercedes Benz. Not really, but you know that it's always one thing. So, and ended up buying the whole store, including the CBD oil. Kiehl's has CBD. I didn't realize that. And I assume you meant face oil, CBD face oil. Anyway, so I was curious about that. And actually, since Arden is on, there was a story I saw today that I thought you would find interesting. In rural England, in a town called like Berkshire, Tunville, whatever. There was a penguin that was found walking down the center of the main road out in the country, the highway. It's down the center, and they come up on it and they're like, okay, what's this? So it had escaped. So someone like a mile away had penguins in England, and it got out, and it was wondering, and it was so nice. Supposedly they all took pictures with it. It just hung out until its owner got there. It was kind of like, okay, cops, let's do this shit. But a penguin. Oh, and Diana's saying at my recommendation, she bought the Kiehl's eye cream. Have you used it yet? The nighttime one, right? It pulls my skin. I don't know if everyone does, but it pulls me so tight that it's a little uncomfortable sometimes. Like, I don't use it every night because it's like I'm having bad dreams about yesterday if I wear it for too long or too often rather. I have seen a lot of people doing vitamin C like directly on their skin, and I had a little sampler of it and I've been doing it. And I feel like my skin is more radiant. I also feel like I'm more greasy at the moment because I did not wash my face. I usually wash my face before I come see you because the glare of the thing and the oil and all that kind of stuff. But I did not do that. Sandy saying 2020 is the year of penguins walking down the street in England. I mean, just center stripe of the road, supposedly. Just like he owned it. Like some fat fucking Madagascar movie. What else was I going to talk about? Speaking of islands, Madagascar. I'm not talking about that one. New Zealand. Some shit is going on down there. They are some sneaky ass bitches. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not talking about the prime minister. I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm just being sassy as I am. So now the cases are like multiplying. I mean, granted, they're still under 100, I think, but they're multiplying, and they're kind of like, where did this come from? And they're trying to blame it on food storage, but then like these scientists are coming out saying that that's like a 1 in a million. Like you're more likely to win the lottery than to catch COVID from a pack of frozen food, right? So they're kind of like, no, y'all are stupid, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. And so, but they have isolated it to a lot of people that work at this cold storage company, which is kind of where they got the cold food thing. And then they were like, well, maybe it was a strain that was kind of under the radar and people didn't realize it. Well, then they tested it, and it's a strain that has not appeared, supposedly. Again, this is news-ish, so I could be incorrect. Correct me if I am wrong, please. I welcome the correction. But so this is a newer strain. It's one of the newer strains of COVID-19 or coronavirus or whatever. COVID-19 is the disease. Coronavirus, no, vice versa. Wait, coronavirus is the virus, and COVID-19 is the condition, I think. I think that's right. But anyway, it's a new strain that they had not seen before. And so they're like, huh. So I think someone's lying. I don't know if it's the people, the government, or what. Someone is lying. There's no way a island nation that has been on lockdown, that no one is coming and going, has a new strain of something unless someone left and came back. That is the only reason. And they're delaying their election, and people are like, we should delay ours as well, which is not, it technically is impossible. Like our Constitution does not allow us to do it, which is fine because we have had re-elections or elections, hopefully not re-elections, elections during really bad times before. So we will be fine. We will be fine with it being exactly when it is. So and Crystal saying, great, a new strain. No. There's like multiple like variations of it. Like even in America, there's multiple variations of it that we have. So it's not like a new, like never discovered before. It just wasn't one of the ones that was that it appeared in New Zealand during all of this. Because, they went in early and they claim to have come out early as well. So, and Arden saying that penguin is the one good thing that came out of 2020. I assume that's what you're talking about. And Bentley felt guilty at his first Kiehl's purchase, felt like he was betraying the Clinique counter. I've been Kiehl's since my 20s. I think that one of the mistakes that men in particular make is that they do not moisturize their skin enough, and they don't start soon enough doing it. So I've been doing this regimen, and it's not even hard. It's just toner and lotion, and then occasionally I add some eye cream. The older I get, the more complex the procedure gets. But at the beginning, it was just toner, washing, toning, and moisturizing. makes a huge difference if you start in your 20s, because I'm fucking almost 46 years old. I'll be 46 in, well, what is it? December 14th is my birthday. So whatever the math is on that, in 4 months. And so I have that to think. I'm starting to get little bags here, which is why I'm doing the eye cream now. But look, even that, I don't have the lines. Look at that. This is Look at Cooper's Face episode. I got some lines there, but I consider those character lines. I like those. I like those lines. So Eric says, you are working overtime scratching items out on your list with that pen. You look like Rachel Maddow. I don't watch her, so I don't know if that's just, no. The reason I'm doing it is because I normally do them in order that I think I'm going to talk about, or at least kind of in order, and I am all over the place, and so I'm marking them out so that I don't like skip one or go back to it or whatever, because I wrote a lot of stuff down. So, and Crystal saying Moderna asked me to test the vaccine. Not sure if I will, but I'm thinking about it. Good for you. I have actually heard that in the African American community, there's a great, great distrust for these vaccines, and they're having trouble finding African American test victims, subjects. I don't know, subjects. I think that's the right word, not victims. To do it because people are super suspicious about it. I mean, I'm gonna admit, I have friends who have done it. I would not sign up for it personally. I've carried enough water. I don't need this to be another thing I'm helping pioneer. But they pay a lot too. I don't know how Moderna is doing, but a friend of mine's getting like $3,000, I think, and each one in their families. There's like 4 of them that are doing it, so that's a lot of money. And Bentley's clarifying COVID-19 is a particular classification of the coronavirus. Okay, thanks, Mr. Wizard's World. What, Bill Nye the Science Guy? What else did I have? Oh, the other things can wait till tomorrow, so I still have content for tomorrow because I've gone over a little bit. My only question left is for my 100th episode, which is coming up next week. 100 episodes of Cooped Up Live. Can you believe that? I cannot. And it would have been sooner had I not gone on vacation and had such sketchy internet. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, we're going to celebrate, but I don't know what we're going to do. Should I tap some of my greatest fans in? If y'all want to do that, I have the technology to do that. Should I have a giveaway? I don't know what I would give away. Some Kiehl's eye cream, maybe? I have no idea. What are the things I've talked about? You want an air fryer? I can give away an air fryer. How about that? And actually, I know of a way to do giveaways on Amazon, I think. I'll have to revisit that. So, anyway, so if you have ideas, either put them in the comments or send them to me, text me, message me, whatever, and I will. Bentley wants me to talk about 100 things I might do if the price is right. I am going to pass on that. That sounds like too much. And Diane is saying, bring on Todd. He does not want to do this. I don't even know if he watches it. Occasionally I hear him watching it, and I'm like, it's so sweet and all, but I don't know. And he has a standing 4:30 conference call most days anyway, so I don't even know if I could get him on. Phyllis likes my cooking shows from the past. I know. I need to start doing those again. That was fun, and I can do it in the kitchen now. Shut a door. How about that? Maybe I'll start shaking it up, doing different things. That'll be fun. Although 4:15 is a little early to start cooking, but we'll see. I can make some stuff. Oh, I'll do some air fryer recipes. Maybe not for the 100th, but how about I do that? Because those things are quick. I mean, you throw it in for like 8 minutes and it is done. And it is good stuff. So yes, that's it. So, and we should do the happy hour thing for the 100th. I want to see everyone. These are all my friends now. Isn't it funny how you feel like you know people? So anyway, all righty. With that, I'm going to say bye. We've gone over a few minutes. So, but I think Carrie might be on tomorrow. I don't see her watching at the moment. She usually either watches live or catches the replay later. Wednesdays are normally the day that she's on, so I'm going to plan for it, and we'll just see if that happens. If not, we'll make do. And with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. Oh, give $100 gift card to Nuvo. Every homosexual in Dallas would tune in. Totally should do that. Yes. Need to boost my ratings. God, that would make me so nervous if every homosexual in Dallas, because who would I talk about other than myself? I know. So anyway, I love y'all. Thank you you are loved. It's very important to remember that. And thank you for watching. As always, it's cheaper than therapy. Well, alcohol abuse there. I got a drinking problem. I don't know how to drink. With that, I'm going to say bye. Oh, Sam's on too. Bye, Sam. I love y'all. And I will see you tomorrow on another episode of Cooped Up Live. Thanks for watching. Bye. Turn this damn thing off. Bye.